McDavid, wrist shot, saved, Demko, rebound, score! Connor McDavid, second of the game!
McDavid, wrist shot, score! Hate to say I told you so.
Just get the sense that he's starting to dial it in to his caliber.
A brilliant maneuver!
I mean, it's just not fair.
Every era sees talent rise, but once in a lifetime, the sport births a force so rare it bends the rules of possibility. That force came from Richmond Hill, Ontario, this time in the form of a kid who skated faster than reason, passing with surgical instinct and scoring goals that left legends speechless. They didn't call him Connor McJesus as a joke, they called him that as a warning. Because when true greatness hits the ice, it doesn't wait for permission. Let's be honest, hockey has seen its share of great players. We've seen skill, speed, and even brilliance. But what Connor McDavid is doing isn't just impressive, it's something the sport hasn't seen in decades. His real name is Connor McDavid, but the hockey world calls him McJesus. Before McDavid took over the NHL, he had already shown the world what he could do on the international stage. He represented Canada with pride and precision, winning gold at the 2013 IIHF World U18 Championships and again at the 2015 World Junior Ice Hockey Championships. You can see, even as a teenager, he wasn't just competing, he was dominating. From the moment he stepped onto NHL ice in 2015, the expectations were sky high. He was expected to be generation-defining, and somehow, even with all that weight on his shoulders, he delivered more than anyone could have imagined. In the 2022-23 season, he put up 153 points, 64 goals, 89 assists. That kind of production hasn't happened since the days of Mario Lemieux. And McJesus did it while skating through the most defensively structured era in NHL history. Most players fight just to stay above 1 point per game. McDavid doesn't just pass that mark, he lives miles above it. Through more than 700 games, he's averaged over 1.5 points per night. That kind of consistency doesn't happen by luck. Before turning 28, he already had 5 Art Ross trophies as the league's top scorer. He had 4 Ted Lindsay Awards voted by the players themselves. And here you see he won 3 Hart trophies as the NHL's most valuable player. These aren't just trophies, they are reminders that he's not just winning, he's outpacing the best in the world. So if this is what he's already done, how much higher can he climb? McDavid doesn't chase numbers, he sets new expectations. Coaches build systems to contain him, and they still fail. Defenders train to read him, and they still get burned. There is no comfortable way to face Connor McJesus. McJesus doesn't rely on chaos, he controls it with precision. While most players gather speed over time, he reaches top gear in just a few strides. He has been recorded skating over 40 kilometers per hour, and yet, even at that pace, his hands stay steady, his vision remains sharp, and his decision-making stays one step ahead. When the fastest player on the ice also happens to be the most respected, you stop calling it talent. You start calling it dominance. McDavid's game doesn't just overwhelm opponents, it earns their admiration. That kind of validation doesn't come from highlight reels, it comes from night after night of being impossible to contain. Players have seen him up close. They've felt the speed, the vision, the control, and more than anything, they've recognized that what he's doing isn't normal. It's generational. He has also been named the NHL's first All-Star Team center multiple times, not by fans or broadcasters, but by professionals who understand what true impact looks like. Across the league, even veterans and champions speak about McDavid with a tone of respect that is usually reserved for retired legends. This isn't hype. This is how legends talk about other legends. Connor McDavid is the player other players measure themselves against, and that kind of respect is never handed out. It's earned, shift by shift, season after season. In 2024, during one of the most intense postseason runs in recent memory, McJesus didn't just lead, he carried. Over 25 playoff games, he recorded 42 points. That includes breaking Wayne Gretzky's record for most assists in a single postseason, not just matching a legend, surpassing him, and doing it in a modern, faster, more defensive era. When the Oilers reached the Stanley Cup final, McDavid's performance only intensified. He had back-to-back 4-point games, a feat almost unheard of on that stage. The bigger the moment, the more dangerous he became. Even though Edmonton fell short, the NHL still awarded him the Conn Smythe Trophy as playoff MVP, a rare honor for a player on the losing side. No one had come close to what he did over that stretch. Before Connor McDavid arrived, the Edmonton Oilers were a team with history, but no future. The legacy of the 1980s was still alive in highlight reels, but on the ice, the results were inconsistent, forgettable, and often frustrating. For years, the franchise had been searching for a spark, and honestly, what they got was a fire. McDavid didn't enter a winning system. He walked into a team that had missed the playoffs in 9 of the previous 10 seasons. At just 19, he was named captain. That responsibility is rarely given to someone so young, but with McJesus, it made sense. He didn't ask for the spotlight, he earned it through performance, attitude, and relentless work. From that point forward, the Oilers were his team. McDavid led Edmonton back into the playoffs. He pushed them deep into rounds they hadn't reached in over a decade. His leadership on and off the ice restored relevance to a franchise that had spent years searching for direction. He walked into a team that had missed the playoffs in 9 of the previous 10 seasons. He wasn't surrounded by veteran stars or championship experience. What he brought with him was the belief that one player could shift the course of an entire organization. This wasn't a rebuild. It was a resurrection. The Oilers didn't rebuild around him. They were rebuilt by him. And with every shift, he reminded the hockey world that Edmonton was no longer chasing the past. Actually, it was creating a new chapter, led by a player who refused to let the weight of history define his future. Wayne Gretzky, the most iconic name in hockey history, has openly said McJesus is the best player in the world today. Sidney Crosby, who defined the modern era for over a decade, has expressed admiration for McDavid's game. He's praised for his speed, his hands, and the way he sees the ice. It's not just what McDavid has accomplished, it's how he does it with consistency, with control, and with a level of brilliance that turns even the best defenders into spectators. The praise isn't about potential anymore, it's about legacy. When those who shaped the game say you're changing it, there's no need to argue. Connor McDavid isn't waiting to be part of history, he's already in it. Connor McDavid has done everything except lift the Stanley Cup. But if that's the only thing left to question, the argument is already leaning in his favor. Connor McDavid doesn't need to chase the title of greatest of all time. He's already standing in it. So if you believe you've just witnessed the rise of the greatest to ever touch the ice, don't just scroll away. Hit that subscribe button and join us as we follow every stride, every record, and every moment that keeps rewriting hockey history. Because with Connor McDavid, the story isn't finished, it's just getting faster.